1 foot of the guitarist. So freaking close. We're eye to eye. It's fucking
It's sort of like a secret space, you know, that only some people know about, and or people who really love music.
I'm Kyle Lamont, and yeah, I'm one of those people who loves live music. I've been writing, producing, and hosting ConcertCast, a travel podcast exploring concert culture, for a few years now, and the show has been my way of going deeper into the live music experience and also the industry by interviewing performers and venue owners to document their stories and perspectives that make up each music scene in our concert communities. And inevitably, while traveling and talking with people, I hear about smaller venues, subterranean spots where the real funky artsy shit's going on. Welcome to In the Pocket, a new podcast series on ConcertCast.live about underground music spaces, about independent venues that march to the beat of their own drum, places that encourage artists and music lovers to lean into that cool experimental artsy shit. In the Pocket is a podcast for hidden gems, music playgrounds, and spaces where community is more important than money. And if these places sound kind of too good to be true, it's because they kind of are. They're often at risk of disappearing, with gentrification threatening their existence. That's why I think sharing their stories here is so important. In this episode, we go to the Loft in Boston. Well, technically in Somerville, which is adjacent to Cambridge. The DIY artist space is located inside a massive brick warehouse and is owned by my friend Audrey Ryan. But she's not just the owner and booking manager, she's also an award-winning multi-instrumentalist singer-songwriter who can loop up to 6 instruments, including a banjo. Listen to Season 1, Episode 10 for my conversation with her about her musical roots, plus a few wild stories of hers from the road. So you're going to hear from Present Me, who's actually at a cafe in Koreatown, Los Angeles, called, coincidentally, Loft, and also Past Me, who was in Boston, with some anecdotal research and reporting in between.
So we're in Audrey's car, driving to
Somerville, the Loft in Somerville.
It's sub-zero weather.
It's 14 degrees.
Audrey's wearing a really cool pink hat.
Yeah.
It's like a winter beanie. Toque?
Yeah, my husband calls it the penis hat.
It's really cute, though. Are you going to wear it tonight?
Probably.
I don't think I've ever seen you perform with a hat on.
Well, this would be the time. I need to keep the heat in my body.
So give me the rundown on the Loft, how you came into it, and sort of some history of the building itself.
It's an old warehouse. It's brick. It's not very well insulated. The windows are old. It's definitely an old building, but it's solid. You know what I mean? Like, there's really good beams, good bones. And I became a tenant in 2004 from seeing a Craigslist ad that said artist studio, and I think it was, I want to say it was like $600 or something. And at the time I was like, you know, a young musician in Boston, and I wanted a rehearsal space. And even though $600 was like quite a bit for rehearsal space, the second I walked in, I knew that this was going to be like my key to being an artist in Boston. And I signed a lease. It was a tenancy at will, which basically means you have no rights and they can kick you out at any time. And I've been there now for, it's going to be 20 years next year. So it's 19 years I've been there, which is kind of wild.
Some more history that I found with the help from Audrey and a blog called Backside of America is Somerville was and still is a place where people manufacture things. And American Tube Works, a company founded in 1851 that made brass and copper tubes for plumbing, used to be a big deal in Somerville. At the height of operation, they had over 20 buildings in the area. And the brick building building where Audrey's loft is was once where the blacksmith, machine, and pattern shops were housed. In the 1920s, when the company shut down, the building then became a paper supply store and later a boxing club. Now dozens of artist spaces are inside. There's even a Hammond organ and Leslie speaker repair store and dealership here called Boss Organ. When Audrey moved into the loft, it was meant to be just a rehearsal studio, which it still is, but it naturally evolved into a performance space.
If I got the place in 04, I'd say by 06 we were having pretty big shows. And I'd say by 08, 09, I mean, it was really big. I mean, it got to a point where it was too big, and then we kind of had to ramp it back down. And by too big, I mean, we had a show once where there was crowd surfing. There's been incidents. I mean, there was one time some guy came and he got really drunk and he punched a hole in the wall. There was another time where a guy got really drunk and he broke my neighbor's door. One time someone told me someone was snorting cocaine in the bathroom.
I have to say, people have been pretty tame since the pandemic, pretty professional. I've seen some things back in the day as a person who was going here.
Like?
I think the most notorious one was a singer who was up front and somebody was like so drunk or out on drugs and just kept trying to make out with the person while they were singing. That was a memorable night. All of us were like, what is...
Audrey throws about 2 concerts a month, and the business behind it, she tells me, is...
utopian. All the money goes to the bands. I mean, sometimes we take $20 for the chips and toilet paper and paper towels, but it's all volunteer staff.
And yeah, the cool part about working the door is you get to like interact with every person that comes in and like how they found out about the place, how they know the bands, who they're connected to. There's usually a relationship involved.
I enjoyed talking with Allison. She's a long-time volunteer. She's so friendly and cosmically intuitive about the Loft's guests.
So it's like a little anthropology study.
I like that. Because like every band brings in different types of people.
Yeah, there's a different vibe every time. Yeah, different chemistry. It's a different like astrological calendar date. You know, the vibe changes.
Totally. So what are we thinking right now for this vibe?
For this vibe, I don't know about the position of the moon right now, but the weather is quite cold. So those people that are going to be here are really, really dedicated. Party people.
That's what it is. You know, sometimes we have super talented, really awesome bands. Occasionally we have a band where I'm like, oh, whatever.
I've seen enormously inspiring people come through here. Yeah. Not everybody, of course. There's a full gamut.
Tonight, Tequila Sirens is this guy, Sean. He's a tenant in the building. He asked me for a show. I said yes, and he booked the other 2 bands. So that worked out really well.
I actually ended up meeting up with Sean, who took me to his rehearsal space, which was right under Audrey's.
How long have you been in this building?
Maybe like 15 years or so.
15?
Something like that.
So you and Audrey are sort of neck and neck with most time spent in
I
this
don't know.
place.
I feel like she's been here a little longer.
What do you love about this space?
It exists. I like my neighbors. It exists.
Wow, this is cool.
We're on a podcast right now.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so this is our space.
His space had a retro speakeasy feel to it. There was an old upright piano against one wall and a bank of couches with a lot of people hanging out on them on the other.
So I can tell you've put a lot more acoustic paneling in here. It feels way different when you walk in.
Yeah, I record bands here, so I tried to.
Yeah, you're a sound engineer. Recording engineer.
Yeah. Get by with what we got, and
Wow.
Yeah, then
okay, it's 2 levels.
yeah, we got the upstairs as well.
Okay, so we're on like a 2x4 staircase here.
Upstairs, it felt like a man cave, like a clubhouse, a treehouse fort. But what stood out to me were the joints of the building. They were on full display, just massive. They reminded me of the kind you see on like a big iron bridge. It was breathtaking. And there was also a soft red glow from the paper lanterns that were hung up. And Sean's recording studio was nestled in the back corner. And you would just love all the eccentric decorations.
Like the random hot dog, the random like googly eye.
Over the years, like
The only
random
thing
stuff.
I've ever done is maybe put up like a couple flyers and like the lights, but anything like knick-knack wise, it just ends up here, and I kind of like it now.
Yeah.
I used to think it was cluttered, but it's good stuff.
Like there's a big painting down over the piano down there that's like our buddy Jim who's in the space. That's like his ancestor. What's up, dude? What's up? Oh, yeah.
Is that your Subaru out there?
Yeah.
I parked behind. Tony, we're on a podcast.
We're on a
here.
podcast.
Right now.
She wants to hear some stuff about the building and the space.
Yeah.
Give her a Boris Clown story.
We would go play shows and come back here after, and Boris would be down there with his juggling partner Smiley, and they'd be juggling bowling pins back and forth, and you have to go under
On unicycles.
Yeah, you have to
No.
go.
Peter Panic also, he's around a little bit.
You have to duck under the bowling pins to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it was kind of a trippy scene, at 3 a.m. or something. You walk out there and there's guys on unicycles throwing pins back and forth, and you're like, what the hell? It was good.
Yeah, it's a great space and has great vibes, and I'm just glad we still have it, because a lot of artist buildings have gone away. Boston's definitely been in a crisis for art spaces for a while. So it's kind of a small miracle that we are still there.
In March of 2023, just about a month after I was at the Loft, I came across an article on WBUR about a public hearing at a city council meeting that was specifically about the need to protect artist spaces in Boston, and the meeting was held in response to the recent closing of 2 places in the city. One, Sound Museum, which was a 24-hour practice space which provided hundreds of musicians a place to rehearse and record music, and the owner apparently plans to demolish the existing structure and replace it with office and retail spaces. And Charleston Rehearsal Studios, another practice and performance space home to at least 500 musicians, is apparently going to be now a self-storage building. This is on top of 8 or more other warehouse-esque spaces in Boston that have closed down in the past 5 years.
Really, it's genuinely a rarity now. Whereas before it was just a very cool thing that we happened to be able to hang on to. So
Okay, we're pulling up here. Is it 438?
it is 438.
438 Somerville,
I
what?
think that's Karina.
Is this Karina
Yeah, that's her.
here?
Karina's awesome. She's a talented musician from Brazil with a great sense of humor, and her and Audrey are besties. They sing and work together too.
Just go back.
We had to park on the street. And it's not too far. Audrey's pulling out. Oh God.
That's so good.
Tambourine and Halloween candy.
I'm literally gonna leave. Oh man.
How can I help? And now why do we have a cat house?
I'm gonna give the. So
Is
many
this a new
questions.
instrument you're playing tonight?
No, the cat house is. I'm giving it to Karina to bring to my dad.
Crossing the street, Audrey's
Got a cat house.
cat house, Halloween candy, and a tambourine. I feel like we're going to an improv class. We have to make something of this.
So this alley is notable because this is where we do Porch Fest. There's a big festival in Somerville called Porch Fest. It's awesome. And every year we host a stage on that. See that loading dock that says Boss Organ?
Yeah.
We host a show there. There are 200-300 people that come. So this whole alley is just filled with people.
Fun. Okay, we're walking in. Wooden staircase here, gray and definitely beaten down. White brick walls, painted brick walls. Random little trinkets. Walking towards the back now. And wow, okay, it really opens up now. High ceilings.
Venue, as you know, there are intentional design choices, but not at the Loft. Actually, unintentional is the design choice. Exposed ceilings showed all the building's innards, and the decorations are from flea markets or what's been left behind by musicians and guests. While Audrey tidied up,
Hold on. Remember, I bought a new trash can, so we're in business with that.
I parked my ass on one of the sunken-in couches and talked with Chris French, who's a research doctor at Harvard Medical, a landscape and portrait artist, and he also happens to be Audrey's husband.
Nothing in here looks planned out, okay? It was put together over time in kind of a ad hoc fashion, if you will. And so I think that's one of the appeals that I enjoy about the place.
But it's basically just like an amazing open space, and it's definitely the coolest rehearsal space you'll ever find because it's big. Most rehearsal spaces are like the size of a bedroom.
Balled up Christmas lights are strewn about, which give the room, to me, its signature look. And there's also this really cool, sexy neon car poster that glows red when turned on.
Oh, yeah.
The car's the best.
It's a Ferrari.
What is this? What is it?
This is just like, I'm going to plug it in now. Okay. I don't know if this is not on.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Is this like old 80s art?
It's totally an ad, but it's also like the hot guy in your high school had this in his room or something.
Totally.
And it was his dad's.
All right, Audrey is setting up for her performance. She goes on first. Let's run through your setup here. What do you got?
I got my kick, and I have a
This is old.
Yeah, no, this has seen better days, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not playing drums as a drummer as much as like as a percussionist, if you will. This also needs this head. Karina, do you know how to tighten these heads?
I've never tightened the heads on.
All right, now you're setting up your pedals.
Yes. I'll do loop station.
What kind of guitar is this?
This is a knockoff Gibson ES 335, but it's actually called a Jordan, and I got it in Australia. It's a beautiful guitar, but it's just like it's a knockoff.
You got it in Australia.
I did. I bought it in Sydney.
Brought it back home. How cool.
I was studying abroad, and I saw it at a guitar shop right near my house, and I was like, that's the coolest guitar. And then I was like, it's really not that expensive. It was $300.
I like the pearl inlays. Or is it?
Yes,
it?
no,
Yeah.
the mother. Well, I don't know if they're real. Who knows if they're real mother of pearl? It could be
Beautiful.
fake.
I love it.
Yeah.
She's plugging in something. This is a rat's nest of chords, though, eh?
I wouldn't say this is ideal. But I'm going to plug this one into that one. Oh, that's a two-pronger. Damn it. I don't like two prongs because they will electrocute you. It's doing the shocker thing again.
What is the microphone?
Yeah.
Oh.
I never... And the thing is, Karina,
live.
I mean, I know I'm not like... Maybe Sean... Oh.
Hey,
when
what
Sean
do we
gets
do
up
if
here.
the microphone is shocking this question mark? What's hurt? My neighbor's a sound guy.
Check. What's that?
He'll tell me right now.
Time,
He'll respond
the thing
right
is,
away.
it's
He's like, I'm just gonna try to rally. I'll try and rally to the loft later to hang.
They actually ended up FaceTiming with Karina's neighbor, who helped them troubleshoot the grounding issue.
Is there a solution to that? Not really, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's on a different circuit.
I thought it had to
Are
be
they
in the
all
same
plugged into the
circuit.
same outlet right now?
It's in the same outlet. So I put it in a different outlet?
Yeah, the guitar amp's on the same outlet as the PA.
Yeah.
Yes, can't you do it on a different one? See if
Okay.
that fixes it?
His advice was spot on, and soon after, Audrey and Karina started sound checking to one of my favorite songs called So Strung Out off her album called Buggy Spell. I want to play a snippet of my interview with Audrey from episode 10 in season 1 of ConcertCast, of her explaining the meaning of the song to me.
I think when I wrote that song, it was probably about being strung out about something. I mean, like a lot of, not really so much now because my life is a lot more straightforward as to what I'm up to and what I'm doing. But when I was younger playing music, I think I used to get very stressed out about like, where's my life going? What does it all mean? Kind of the existential crisis of choosing to be an artist versus choosing to do more kind of conventional things, like just get a job and live your life sort of thing. So it was kind of about that, I think, about feeling strung out about being an artist or choosing that. Because it's about self-doubt. I think that song's really about feeling self-doubt. Thankfully, I do not feel much self-doubt right now, but I used to feel quite a bit of it.
It's beautiful. Even though it's full of doubt, it has like a comforting tone to it, which I really love.
first saw Audrey play music.
And you come here on
I
your
would
first
say
You
awe-inspiring.
came here on your first date.
We did, but it was empty, right? It was late at night, and we came in
Look
here
at that
and
power move by Audrey. Why don't you come to my loft? Showing up.
yeah.
She's like, oh, you're a doctor? I have a loft.
Yeah.
We love Audrey's music.
Yes. It's great. I love the loops. Yeah. Very ethereal. I think that I once went to a show with a friend who was from France, and I'm like, I don't know, what do they think of American music? And we saw a set of bands. They're like, I liked Audrey's because it was experimental. It's like, yeah, it's experimental. She's not afraid to tool around with how the music goes. Yeah, she tries the range of things that are available.
That's sort of the epitome of this place too.
Yes, that's the whole aura.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later. You nailed it. Let's enjoy the sweet experimental sounds of Audrey Ryan.
They played about 7 songs, and Audrey even busted out her accordion, which is always a treat to watch. It's equal parts sexy and ghostly. It's really incredible, and I hope you all get to see what I mean one day. There was probably about 75 people or so, I'd say just about capacity, when Van Chamberlain, an indie rock band from New York, started to play. Their music complemented the artsy atmosphere perfectly. Being part of the patchwork of people just grooving out, swaying to the hazy sounds was groovy. And I love how there's no barrier between the audience and the band. There's no security guards, no railing keeping us at a distance. It's just you and the music, face to face.
Hey guys, we're Tequila Sirens. Thank you so much for the Loft and especially Audrey. We'll do our thing. And See Your Face is coming up.
Sean's keyboard setup was, I don't know how else to say it, but commanding. He had a few different types of keyboards just all wired together. I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, mainly because I'd never seen such a setup before. It was so cool. And the 3-piece band ended their set with a single called Shame. And this song has been on repeat for me since I saw the Lofts lineup announced back in November, December.
we have a song that's probably on our next record, Imposters, and I came up with a weird outro, and Dwight was like, eh, and Dwight played it on the piano downstairs, and that's how it started, and then we just kind of looped that, did the boom, 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 boom. Usually our songs start with like an idea, and then one of us would be like, well, you know, we call it mumble track or whatever. You just, you know, make sounds and come up with the melodies, and then oh my god, that sounded like a word, and that sounded like something that means something. And like even the title, I don't know, shame. I'm like, everyone's ashamed of stuff. Being weird or sexual stuff or fucking being fucked up or so I don't know. It's just a kind of a stream conscious.
Able to grab any tape from the last band because the performance was screaming loud, audio levels burning red. But what I can tell you is that the front woman and front man played matching white double flying Vs. The site, yeah, punk rock. Once everyone left, there was a crazy after party. Yeah.
Let's pick this fucking shit up.
What's happening? Got a hole.
John. Oh, that's a good idea. Vamos. Does someone leave cranberry juice here? That like
Yeah, I just found that on the ground.
All right. Thanks, Allison. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
The Loft is a gem. There's no other way to put it. There's no attempt to hide the imperfections or smooth out the rough edges here, and that's what adds to the experience. The focus is on the music and the community, the connections made here.
I get the sense of a very special place because it is so rare.
Yeah.
Is my feeling when I walk in there.
That's
It's a
how
rarity.
That's how I've always felt about it, but I don't think that I realized how rare it was until I saw other spaces shut down. So there were others, like I remember, 5-10 years ago, people would be like, oh, have you been to this space or this one? And I'd be like, oh yeah, I mean, I've been to that one. And like all of them are gone.
From that same WBUR article that I mentioned earlier, the point of the public hearing was to initiate a citywide fund and zoning reform that benefits artist spaces. Christina Tedesco of the Art Stays Here Coalition, which was started in response to all of the artist spaces in Boston being bought out, has asked that the City Council provide a dedicated line item of funding towards arts and cultural workspaces in the fiscal year of 2024.
After we've gone through a couple of iterations of threats for this place to be taken over or purchased by a large company, I've learned to become much more appreciative of what we've got here.
Dave Tree, a local artist who ended the meeting, was quoted by saying, "You take away our practice space rooms, our rooms that we make art in, it's gone. Gone. No culture, no songs, nothing. Cultural wasteland."
I always said that if I lost the Loft, I'd leave Boston, but now that I have I'm married with kids, that's pretty unlikely. But it would be a nightmare because not only would I lose my venue and music community, what am I gonna do with all that stuff?
To see a show at the Loft and support their programming, sign up for their newsletter, which I'm linking in the show notes, and you can also find it on ConcertCast.live. Here's also where you can learn more about the music heard in this episode. Special thanks to Audrey, Chris, Karina, and all the volunteers at the Loft. to Tequila Sirens and Van Chamberlain. And if you feel inspired to help keep cultural spaces for artists and musicians in the greater Boston area, sign the Art Stays Here petition at artstayshere.org. I'm Kyle Lamont, and thank you for listening to the first episode of In the Pocket on ConcertCast.live.